What's up, guys? So when you're breeding your ball pythons, what's more important? The age of the snake, the size of the snake, or a combination of both? What's up, YouTube? It's Baker. Welcome back to Blue Line Morphs, guys. New to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, give me a thumbs up, man. We're a new ball python breeding channel. Comment down below, especially in this video. I have an Instagram channel, blue_line_morphs, and a Facebook page, Blue Line Morphs. Check me out on there, hit me up on there. Kind of my personal page. Now, it is what it is. So no real update, guys. Actually, that's not true. So as far as the rat world goes, ASFs are still being, the Norwegian rat mother is still a surrogate mother to those ASFs. I actually picked up another female rat from Sal. So I'm going to get two females going with the one male, just so I can kind of support. I have like Eve in there, which is that normal I keep joking around about, saying that she's my most expensive ball python. And I have about 4 or 5 other smaller snakes coming my way. So I'm going to want to produce my own pups so I can actually feed them midweek meals when I'm not picking up from Sal. That being said, that ODYB Pastel Spider Het Puzzle Girl ate 2 pups today. So I'm really happy about that. I don't know what's going on with her. She's over a year old and she's 340 grams, but now she's starting to eat a lot. So I want to see if I can start upgrading that to weans and crawlers, maybe some smalls, and maybe really start putting some nice size on her to catch up to her other puzzle sister who's like 800 grams. That being said, I have no ASFs left. I have fed them off to my collection. I am done with them for now. I will try to probably breed them again later on, but as of now, I'm just going to try the Norwegian rats because the ASFs kept eating each other. If you're wondering why the angle is different now, so I got my sulcata inside. To be honest with you, I'm going to do a video about that, how I'm keeping her inside. Right now, it's a little ghetto. It's kind of just a kid's pool, like those old plastic pools you get at Walmart for $5 and some hay. But that's what I got right now. Obviously, yes, I'm ordering the UV bulb and all that, etc., etc. So that's why the angle's a little weird. I'm going to try to play with it so I can kind of get my angle back so you can see my logo and or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. So, with that being said, today's video is all about breeding size opposed to the age. What's more important when it comes to clutches, regaining the weight of the clutch after the female lays, getting the snake to optimal size, how big the hatchlings are, what I've seen with pairing my young snake with older females and younger females. So before we get into the video, full disclaimer, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today is more or less me having a conversation with myself. I'm just going to give you guys all the information that I've gathered in various different conversations with various different breeders, be it Mike from Redline Pythons, Porter from Porter Pythons, talking to Gomez, talking to, Rob from Racer Reptiles, everybody else. So bear with me, but in this video, I definitely want you guys to comment down below what you guys think. I want to get a good discussion going, especially with this topic, because I've seen a wide range of opinions. So let's dive into this. Again, I did the video the other day about breeding size, how long it takes them to get there, breeding size of males and the females, right? We know, rule of thumb, 500 grams for the male, 1,500 grams for the female. And I've had a lot of you guys message me on Instagram talking. One guy, I think, just hit me up, maybe he commented on the last video, talking about how he had like a 400 gram male bred to a 3,500 gram female. So there you have it, guys. Like, it happens, right? So that means he might be good to go, which is really nice. All right, let's get right into this. So first and foremost, important thing to talk about is getting that if we go by that 500 gram mark for the male and the 1,500 gram mark for the female, how long does it take to get them up to the speed? And if they're actually the right size, does that mean they're actually good to go, right? All right, so first and foremost, guys, to get a male up to size, like I said, you guys went over this last video just to review the Aussie Pie boy. He's at like probably almost 400 grams now. He's like 3 months old, okay? With that being said, a female, I got the clown girl over here, man. She's like 750 grams. I think she's 5 or 6 months old. So realistically, you can get a girl to 1,500 grams in probably a year and a half. If you have a girl that's absolutely just hammering rats, I mean, let's say she's born January 1st, 2021, and she's taking, Pinky, 3, 4, 5 Pinky, start bumping up the pups, and so forth and so on. I think by June of 2022, she might be 1,500 grams, if not bigger. So far, I've seen with my snakes that eat really, really well, we're talking about anywhere between 80 to about 120 grams of growth per month on some of these snakes. And then also when you get up, once you start feeding them smalls and mediums, and your snake can take down, 150 gram rat, like you're talking about big size increments. But here's a question. Are they ready to go at 1,500 grams? Or should you wait to 1,800 grams and 3 years old? So I had a long conversation with my buddy Mike from Porter Pythons, and I had other people say this to me too, where they really feel like you should wait until 3 years, about 1,800 grams, because that's when the female gets to be sexually mature. So in other words, just because the snake is at 1,500 grams at a year and a half old, she might be good to go, right? I know I've seen a lot of videos from Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, where I think some of his females are 18 months old, 2 years old, they're popping out in 8 or 9 egg clutches, right? But just because they're at 1,500 grams, are they good to go? That's the question. So, or should you wait to the 1,800 gram mark, or the 2 year mark, or the 3 year mark? So I'll say this. I want to cover 3 things: the clutch size, the hatchling size, and then regaining that weight, and then optimizing the size of your snake. So for example, actually I want to cover a couple things first. Now check this out. I have this girl right here. This girl's under 2 years old, man. This is my Enchi Pastel pied female. She's under 2 years old, and she's a house, guys. I think she's 1,800 grams. I just weighed her. 1,800 gram female, okay? And she's, I would say 20 months old, maybe, okay? Now you got this girl right here. This girl's about 1,700 grams, and she's a 5 or 6 year old pied female. So that girl is obviously big enough to be bred, but she's under 2 years old. So is she going to be fertile? Is she going to be good to go? I don't know, man. Comment down below. But I have a feeling this girl right here, even though she's a little bit smaller, is probably going to give me a better clutch. So first and foremost, I only had the 2 clutches, right? We all know that from my channel. We had the white diamond Luna when she weighed. She laid, she was 1,700 grams. She dropped down about 1,100 grams or 1,050 grams, give or take. I think she had 6 or 7 eggs, okay? 1,500 grams, 6 eggs, cool. Big Mama laid at 4,000 grams. I think when she actually laid, she's only about 3,900 grams. She dropped down like 2,300 grams. She gave me 10 eggs and a slug. So rough, let's say 10, 11 eggs. That's an increase of almost, not very good at math, 66% of the eggs, right? So if you had 6 eggs, then you got 4 more on top of that, right? So 66, yeah, I guess 2/3. An increase of 66% on the eggs. So something to think about. So let's say you spent a boatload of money on a snake. Let's say, for example, this girl right here, right? She cost me a lot of money. She is my high-intensity orange dream, yellow belly fire clown girl. You guys have seen her a million times. She's put on a decent amount of weight. She's probably close to 500 grams right now. So let's say she's ready to go in a year. Let's say in a year she's 1,500 grams. Cool, awesome. Am I better off waiting until maybe she's 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 grams before I breed her? Right? Am I going to get bigger clutches out of her? Instead of getting 6 eggs, am I getting 9 eggs, right? You're getting 50% more eggs. Something to think about. Comment down below, you more experienced breeders. Is that kind of how it works? Or are they more fertile the older they get? Obviously, when they're bigger, they hold more eggs in them. Now, let's talk about regaining size and maximizing the size of the snake. So I think I kind of touched on this in the last video with sizes. But more or less, guys, let's say you get a snake up to 1,500 grams in 18 months. And you breed her, she gives you 6 eggs, and she drops down 900 grams. Then she puts that 600 grams back on, back to 1,500 grams, maybe 1,600 grams, 1,700 grams, and then you breed her again. She's back down to 1,000. Then she's back up to 1,700 grams. You breed her again. Now you're year 3 or 4. Now the problem with that is, all right, yes, you're breeding the snake, you're producing the eggs, etc., etc. But in my opinion, am I going to follow this? I don't know. I might get a little overzealous with my girls, but hear me out. If you wait a little longer and you get your snake to 17, 18, maybe 1,900 grams before you breed her, let's say she has her first clutch of 7 eggs, drops down 1,200, then she puts that full weight back on, she's able to eat the bigger rats, etc., etc. Like, you look at Luna here, I weighed her today. When she laid, she was 1,700 and something grams, right? She dropped down to, I think, 1,050 or 1,070. Now, she's 200 grams over her birth weight, her laying weight, okay? Now, I was pairing her up this time last year. You're a little stuck shit, huh? I was pairing her up this time last year, and she kind of came off food with me. Eventually she laid, I think in March, right, if you guys remember. So because she isn't being bred this year, well, she is being bred later on, because she isn't being bred in the same amount of time and she's given more time to recuperate, this snake's going to be much bigger and give you more eggs now. This girl, the time I breed her, is probably going to be like 2,200 grams, man, the way she eats. So that's something to think about also, is giving your snakes a little bit of time off, or maybe pairing them later in the season if they laid in the early part of the season, maybe pairing them late next season to let them put that weight back on. The second thing I wanted to talk, because then you're kind of stunting the growth of the snake. In other words, a snake will never really go over 2,000 grams. You're constantly breeding it, knocking it down, constantly breeding it, knocking it down. So you have two options. You can wait until it's like a bigger snake, gives you a little bit more eggs, and then you optimize the size of the snake. Or if you do breed her at 1,500 grams, then next year maybe breed her in the late stages of the season. That way you give her over a year to put back on some of that weight, like I'm kind of doing with Luna. She's a Super Russo, so I'm waiting on my buddy Mike from Redline Pythons. Check him out. To get me over a pastel Enchi Blade Leopard Clown male to go to her. Make some heads with Russo, right? Really nice. I love the Russo clowns. The third thing I want to talk about is the size of the actual hatchlings. Now, when I was fortunate enough, let me show you her. My only you better not bite me. My only great job. My only clutch that survived was Big Mama's clutch. Okay, now Big Mama was a big girl. Okay, Big Mama was 3,900 grams, and the eggs were big. Remember, if you guys remember, those eggs were big, much bigger than Luna's eggs. Now this girl, this girl's about a month and a half old, 2 months old now, about a month and a half old. By the way, guys, check her out. What do you think's in her? I've had a lot of people that have seen these hatchlings that think maybe the male, the dad, the banana pied male, has maybe yellow belly in him or something like that. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, now, I'll tell you this. When they were born, these hatchlings were like 80, 90 grams apiece. Okay? I've seen a lot of people hatching hatchlings where they are 50 grams, some 40 grams. You have some guys that are 27 grams for the other day. But on average, I see 50 to 60 grams. When I got the clown female Harlem, she was 54 grams and had 3 meals in her. But regardless, my point is this. If the snake... Now, so I'm stealing this from like 3 different people. I had not come up with the conclusion by myself, okay? Actually, recently somebody messaged me who was talking about this. Because Big Mama was big, and her eggs themselves were actually bigger. I got more eggs, and she was bigger. The hatchlings were bigger. Okay? They were 80 grams, 85 grams. Some of them, I think one came out, it was like 88 grams. And I had issues with this clutch. Can you imagine if the incubator had a fan in it and actually did what it was supposed to do, and they absorbed all the yolk into them, how big these would have been? I think some of Big Mama's babies would have been close to 100 grams, okay? So that's something to think about also. The bigger the snake, the bigger the hatchlings, okay? Is that really that important? No, because, you know, I did get that clown that was 54 grams up to 750 grams in like 5 or 6 months, but it's just better to have the bigger snake to start off with, because it's better for feeding, etc., etc., etc. So some things to think about. What's more important, the size or the age? So, again, disclaimer, guys, all the stuff I just spoke about is just conversations that I had with people recently. So now I want to talk about something else. My experience with pairing up this boy right here, my Coral Glow Black Pastel Trick Mojave, man. Can you see him down there in the corner? I don't want to take him out. He just ate, which is really good, right? He's been pairing left and right for me, and he keeps eating, so I'm really happy about that. He's going to have about 2 days off now. He's going to go in with another female. Okay, so check this out. I tried to pair him up with this girl originally, okay? This is, can you see her in this? Again, they ate. I don't want to pull them out. This is the Banana Enchi Butter Pastel girl. Wants nothing to do with locking. She's a young snake, guys. I think she's only maybe 2 years old, 18 months old, in between there somewhere. Wants nothing to do with locking with him, okay? Nothing to do with him. Is it because of the age? Is she not digging them? I don't know. Then you come over here, and I have... You see this girl? You can't. She didn't eat today, so I'll take her out. This is the Orange Dream Fire girl I have. She's like 3,000 grams. She's a big girl. She's fairly young as far as I know. She's only about 2.5 years old, which should be real easy to breed, right? At 2.5 years old, 3,000 grams. Doesn't want to lock with them either, okay? A little bit younger of a snake. Now, this girl should be good to go because 2.5 years old really isn't that young of a female. But wants nothing to do with him. I have seen no visual locks. Okay? So she kind of wanted nothing to do with him. That other 2-year-old snake over here kind of wanted nothing to do with him. However, I put him in with this girl right here. My big old spider girl is putting on weight like crazy. This snake is 12 years old, man, right? Remember I told you she's a 2008 hatchling or 2009 hatchling? She's a big girl now. She's about 2,500 grams. I put him with her. Guys, within 15 minutes, he's locked. Is it because she's older and she's more experienced? She has been bred before? I don't know. Maybe because the older snake is more sexually mature. She's good to go. We're not forcing things. But where are you going? But right away, they lock. I mean, they lock quick and they stay locked for a while. It's the same thing with this girl down here. This is an older snake that I got from my I want to say older. She's deep shed right now. This is another proven breeder, pastel female. She's big. She's a big hunker. About 2,700 grams. Got from my buddy Ann from Octelia Reptiles. Check him out. Now, again, older snake. Not entirely sure how old she is. I believe he said she's about 5 years old. Has been bred a couple times. I put that Coral Glow Black Pastel Trick Mojave in with this girl, and they lock up right away. Is it a coincidence? Is it because they're proven breeders? They've done the deed before? I don't know. And that's the honest truth, guys. I definitely want you guys. I definitely want you guys to comment down below. But so far, my opinion, my experience, things that I've seen, when it comes to pairing, the older females, I'm talking 2.5 years old, kind of give me problems. 2 years old, give me problems. The snake that's 12 years old, the snake that's 4 or 5 years old, zero problem whatsoever, guys. Right away, they lock instantaneously. That's been my experience so far. Luna, when I got her, had no problem locking with that banana pied male. He was younger, and I believe she was about 3 or 4 years old at the time, which is roughly the Orange Dream Fire Girls thing. So I don't know. Comment down below, guys. What do you guys think? This is some food for thought type of video, but so far what I've seen, man, it's definitely the older females seem to lock up much more quickly. Kind of know what the deal is. They've been hammering rats. They know what's up. So I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know. Comment down below. What do you guys think? Let's get a discussion going, man. Message me on Instagram. I'm really curious to see what you guys think when it comes to age and size, opposed to waiting a little longer, etc., etc. Kind of things I spoke about in this video. But that's the end of the video, guys. It's Sunday night. I am going to go watch some football. I've caved. It is what it is. Actually, not that bad. I'm going to do a video on the sulcata. Comment down below if you guys are interested. I really haven't shown her on my channel at all, I think. But she's decent size, not that big. I love my sulcata. But anyway, guys, listen. I appreciate it, man. Be safe. Please remember, always watch your six.